Hi everyone, my name is Angela from Angela Stitches and welcome back to my channel. So I worked on my cross stitch angel last night while I was waiting for my video to be uploaded. So this is how much I got done. So right now all I need to do on this one is one color of the light pink and a white and some beading around the border, and then I'll be done with the wings. So I'm gonna try to finish this tonight so that I could work on the actual angel tomorrow. And then I also got a comment about where my Sleeping Beauty is, and I didn't put it away. It's still in my Q-snap, and this is where I left off when I last worked on it. I was trying to finish these roses here, so I'm still going to work on it, but I just kept pushing it back because I was working on other things. So I'm gonna try to work on this a little bit more this week. I don't know, I really like this project, but for some reason I'm not working on it as much. So I'm really going to try to get a lot of progress on that one this week. And in my last video, I talked about how I'm going to FFO 3 ornaments. So I'm going to make a separate video of these 3 projects, but I just want to quickly show you the finishing materials for these. So for this angel, I haven't decided yet, but I have 3 options here. And these are all from a subscriber, Margarita. So thank you so much for sending me these. And I really like these floral patterns, so super excited to finally use these. But I'm going to think about which one to use because I haven't really decided on which one to use just yet. But I'll probably talk more about it in my finishing video. And I have this white lace, so I might use this in the border. And then I also have these really cute beads and some roses and hearts. So this is also from Margarita. And I think I want to use this peach color one somewhere here. It's a heart bead, and I think it'll look really cute. Or maybe one of these roses. That looks cute too, but I don't know yet. But that's everything that I pulled out from my stash for this project. And I still need something to use for the hanger, but I might just use that rope thing that I used for my evergreen angel. So I'm still thinking about that one. And then for Witch Cat, this is by Barbara Anna Designs. And I have this, and I got this from an online shop, and I think this will look nice as a backing fabric. And to be honest, this is the only one that was kind of grayish brown that I had in my stash, and I didn't want to order anything. I'm trying to use up my stash before I get more things, so I might just use this one. And I also think it looks okay, so I might just use this one. But I don't have anything for the border yet, so I'm gonna try to go through my stash again and see if I could find anything for this one. But yeah, that's all I have for this one. And then my last project, this is called When Witches Go Riding by Prairie Schooler. This is the smaller design in that chart, and I have a couple of trim options for this one. So this is also from Margarita, and oh, I have this lace in here too. Maybe I could use this one. And this is what I used for my other Halloween project. So maybe like, I don't know, but I pulled this one out for the black chenille. So that was my first option, and then I actually have another one, and this is a orange one. I'm not really sure what this is called, but it's really fluffy, and I might do something like this. So yeah, those are the 2 options, or 3 actually, including the lace. And for the fabric, I wanted to see if I had a black fabric or like a dark one, but the only one that was like dark enough was this one. And I'm not sure if I want floral patterns on this one, but I do like the round circle patterns on it, so I might use this. Or I was thinking I could cut up one of my old black t-shirts because I have a lot of those, so I might even do that. So yeah, those are some of the things that I might use, but things might change. So I'm going to start FFOing these this weekend, and it'll take a couple of days, I think, because I won't be spending the whole day just finishing. I'm gonna have to do some other work, but I am going to make a separate video for it. So I won't talk more about this in this video, but I just wanted to show you what I did today. I was just gathering up all of the materials for these 3 projects. So I think I'm gonna work on my cross stitch angel a bit, and if I can, I'll try to work on my Sleeping Beauty. And it sounds like I'm pushing back my Sleeping Beauty again, but I'm really gonna try to work on it a little bit tonight. So I'm back to show you my progress on my cross stitch angel. So I finished all of the cross stitches, and earlier I said all I needed to do was a pink color and a white, but this also had a floral border on it, and I forgot about that. So there was some color changes, and the green looks like it's just one color, but it's actually 3 different DMCs. So that took a bit more time than I anticipated, but everything is done now, so I'm gonna get started with the beading. And this calls for 2 different colors, white and a champagne color. So I'm just gonna pour some in this wooden tray and start beading. So I'll come back when I get this finished. So I just finished beading, and I really like the effect of the white beads. It looks like a very feathery type angel wings, and I really like that. And it's a shame that most of the bottom section of the wings will be behind the angel, so you're not really going to see it. And this is supposed to be symmetrical, or at least the border of it is supposed to be exactly the same, but I made a mistake in this little corner here. I think I made one less stitch with the pink, so I had to add a couple more beads so that there isn't any empty spaces. But it doesn't even matter because once this is assembled with the angel, you're not even going to see the bottom section of the wings like I said earlier. So now that this is finished, I'm going to start on the actual angel tomorrow. And I already have the brown paper cut, so I'm probably going to work from the top and work my way down like I did with my other angels. And I'm going to take this to the studio tomorrow and do the cutting there because the paper flies everywhere when I cut it, so I would rather do it in the studio than in my bedroom. And yeah, so right now it's like 11 p.m., so I think I'll work on Sleeping Beauty a bit before I go to bed. So this is my progress from last night, but it was pretty late, so I didn't make an update. But so I finished this cluster of roses here, and the working copy that I have cuts off right here on the page, so it makes sense for me to just work on this bottom section here, but I still don't feel like working with these colors, so I think I'll just start on the roses here because that's still on the page that I'm working on, and maybe move over up here and work that way later. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do right now. And later, maybe if I can, I'll start on my cross stitch angel on the perforated paper. So I'm back to show you my progress on my Sleeping Beauty, and I'm actually really happy with my progress. I don't think I've worked on this long in one session in a while now. So yeah, I've got some of these roses finished, and I think it looks really good. So maybe tomorrow I'll move over to this section and finish the park threads and maybe get some of the lighter colors finished. Yeah, I think I'll do that so that I can move over to the second page and start working on the drapes here. So I'm gonna do that tomorrow. And I forgot to show you the angel wings that I finished in the studio earlier today, so here it is. And this was a little tricky to cut because it had a lot of beads around the edge, so I took my time and did it really slow. But I really like how this turned out. And then I started on the angel, and I only got a little bit done. But with Brooke's books, there's a lot of color changes in her characters, and the back is really messy right now, but like faces and hair, She has a lot of color changes in her designs, so it takes a little bit more time than the other areas in her designs because she's really good at shading in faces, in my opinion, and hair, considering how small the faces are. It's really incredible. I've done a lot of designs by her with faces like the Mr. and Mrs. Claus and the small angel that I'll be turning into an ornament tomorrow or this weekend. I'm not sure if I'll do it tomorrow, but that one, and also I did all 12 of the Alice in Wonderland designs, and that had a lot of faces too. And I've done 3 of her angels so far, and all of their faces has a lot of color changes for shading, like blush on their cheeks, even like the shadows around the nose and the eyebrow bone, and sometimes eyeshadows. And it's only like 2 or 3 stitches in different colors, and it makes all the difference. So I'm really interested in seeing how this one will turn out, and I'm sure it'll be really pretty. So yeah, I'm still going to work on this weekend or next week, I don't know, after when I get the 3 ornaments finished. So I'll come back to this later. And I also checked Linen and Thread's mystery cell page, and they had part 8 out. So this is what part 8 looks like. And so every first of the month, I work on this project and try to finish it before I work on anything else. So I'll be starting this tomorrow, and it's a pretty small section, so I think I could get this finished fairly quickly. So I'm gonna do that. And earlier this week, I can't remember which day exactly, but I got this in the mail. So this is my fabric of the month from Color & Cotton, and I get a 40 count, and this is called Pearwood. And I already opened this, and I just forgot to show it in my video. And when I saw this, I thought it was very similar to my previous fabric, but when I looked at it together, it was so different. So yeah, but it's really pretty. So this was the previous fabric that I got, and it's called Swiss Coffee, and it's really different, but for some reason I thought it was really similar. But I love everything by Color & Cotton, and I really can't wait for the flosses next month. I get 10 skeins, and all the colors are always really pretty. So this is my only new item or new stash, and since it's August tomorrow or a new month, I think I'll try to finish one of my mania starts. So I chose the fruit basket, so I'm gonna try to finish this month, and I still have lots to go on this one, but it's definitely doable, I think. So I'm gonna try to finish the fruit basket this month, and then I'll have 3 left of the series to finish. So I think that's pretty good progress on my mania starts. So I'm gonna do that, and also I'm going to finish part 8 of Linen and Threads and the Cross Stitch Angel this month, including the FFO. So if I could get these done this month, I think I'll be super happy. So yeah, that's it for today, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. So it is the next day, and I woke up pretty early this morning, so I ended up stitching on my cross stitch angel. And I really need to organize my DMC boxes again because I couldn't find any of the skin colors for this. So I moved down and worked on the dress instead. And I think I got a good chunk done, but I'm gonna organize my DMC tomorrow or when I do the FFO because I'm gonna have to go through my stash again anyways and work on the face when I come back to this. It's always a little scary when it only has a couple of stitches on faces, so I want to get the faces done as soon as possible. And then I also worked on my mystery cell, so let me get that real quick. So I only finished the smaller motif in part 8, so this thing here, and I started the second motif, but something isn't right, like the placement seems to be wrong, but I can't seem to find where exactly. So I think I'm gonna have to do the outer border first and see if it's going to affect the other motifs. But I have some wiggle room on each side of every motif, so I don't think it'll be much of a problem. So I'm gonna work on this again maybe next week because again I'm gonna be FFOing my 3 ornaments tomorrow, so I don't think I'll have actual stitching time, but I always get questions about what I'm using for this project, and I think I'm gonna run out of floss here anyway, so I'm just gonna refill it right now. So I'm using Valdani, and the tag fell out of this one, but this is what I'm using, and this is a 32 count fabric, and I'm stitching 1/2, and this is a size 12 Valdani, and the coverage is really good on 32 count. So I just cut about every 12 inches, and that seems to be the right length for me. So I'm just gonna do this. And where are my scissors? I'm using a different pair of scissors today because I left my other one in the studio because I was cutting the perforated paper yesterday. So I'm using this, and I got this in a Halloween box from Color and Cotton last year or the year before. And it's the shape of a cat, and it's really heavy, and my favorite part is the tail, and it continues to the handle. So I really like it. I think it's really cute. So every time I do this, it's usually end of the month or beginning of the month, and I naturally start thinking about goals for that month. And I think I set up a lot of goals, and I never really check if I achieved it or not. So I was looking at my journal because I just used up my second journal of the year, so I'm starting a new one, and it's just a plain notebook. But I'll show you the new journal in a little bit. But I've been journaling every day this year. That was one of my goals, to journal every day, and I noticed that looking back at my other two journals, I've set goals, a lot of them, and half of them are not met or achieved yet, and I actually forgot about some of them. So it was really surprising to me because I remember I was super passionate about them when I was writing them down onto my journal, and I don't know, it just surprises me that I totally forgot about them, completely. So now I'm thinking I probably set a lot of goals before I started journaling that I don't remember now because I've never written them down to go back to until this year. And that kind of bothered me for some reason, just a tiny bit. And I also thought maybe I forgot about them because I was no longer interested in them. And these are just personal goals, so I won't really go into detail. But so I think I'm going to go through every month where I wrote down my goals and see if I still want to work on them or not, and just organize my life. And I think it was a really good idea for me to journal every day to reflect and all of that. So, yeah, this is going to be my new journal, and this is my third book of the year. And it's just a plain notebook, no lines or anything, because I like to sketch and put my ideas as well. So I like the freedom of a blank page. And so here are the other two. Well, this brown one is different. This is a different type of journal. So these three, so this blue one is my first one that I finished this year, and these are all the same type of journals, but it just has a different cover color. So the blue and the green in the middle completely filled, and I decorated this one with my stickers. So I'm gonna go through them tonight and check my goal pages, and this brown one has a calendar in a daily spread, and I use this for work. So it's like a work journal. So I write down the things that I worked on each day and the things that I want to fix or that needs improvements and things like that. And in my personal journals, I also write down my cross stitch projects and keep track of them also. And also books, the books that I've read and the books that I want to read. So that was really fun to go back to. So I was just thinking about that today. So I think I have enough here, and so I also got a question about how to use my thread keepers. So you take your threads and make sure it's not tangled anywhere and fold it in half and put the loop through the hole from the front and anchor it. So just trying to, and this would be easier if I just take it off from the fabric, and I should have taken this out, but I'm just gonna push it here to the side. So if it's anchored like this, you'll be able to pull out one of the threads. So you just take your needle and just choose one of the threads here and pull it out, and it should come out pretty easily, just like that. So yeah, these needle minders and thread keepers are still in my shop, but please read the shop announcements before purchasing, and just let me know if you have any questions about them. And I'm also designing a couple more new needle minders and thread keepers for August, and I think I'll probably be adding new designs every month. So if you want to see the new designs, I usually put them up on my Instagram, so I'll have the link in the description box if you want to be updated and if you want to follow me there. So yeah, I think that's it for right now. And if I have more progress to show you on my projects, I'll come back and check in later tonight. So I just started organizing and I thought I would show you. So this is where I have some DMC for some projects, and I have some weak dye works under it too. And then over on this side, I have my finishes and some fabric, color and cotton, and my finish. And this box has my felts for finishing. And then these are the silks, for you silks that I have. And then these are more fabrics. And then over here I have the small pillows that I've made. So I should explain why I'm doing this right now. So I'm organizing all of this today because we're renovating our kitchen next week. And my parents were going to get rid of this cabinet, and I said I would take it. So I've already put books in the bottom shelves. And I'm gonna put all of my stash in the top 2 shelves. And if I can, I'll try to put this in there too. But I don't think I'll have room. So this is going to be the last thing I put in, but I have my color and cottons in here by color. And I also kind of like having this out here because I go through this quite often for conversions. So I don't really mind having this separate from my other cross-stitch stuff. And I'm going to empty this jar, and this I just have a bunch of random things. Some whips, some scraps, and like the template that I used for finishing, more projects. And then I don't even remember if these are started or not, but I'm gonna have to go through them and see what else I have in there. And then in this I have all of my DMC, but it's really annoying to find things this way, so I'm gonna move all of this to the cabinet, and maybe that'll be much more easier for me to kit up projects. And on top here I have some of the things that I'm working on right now, and I've been working on my ornaments. So this is going to be in another video, but I have those here. And then over here, I think, no, it's this one. So these 2 boxes are filled with fabrics and trims and ribbons from a subscriber. So I'm going to see if I can move this into the cabinet too, but if not, I'm just gonna keep it in here. And I also have this one too. This one has a lot of cool things too. And I've already showed these 3 boxes in my previous video, so I won't go through them, but yeah, if I can, I'm gonna try to put all of this into the cabinet too. And this furniture set used to be my grandmother's, and I think my aunt was trying to get rid of them, so I said I would take it because this is basically antique, and I grew up with this when I used to live at my grandmother's, so I couldn't let her do that. But it's all hand painted enamel, and yeah, it's not in the best condition, but I still love it. So I'm gonna try to pull out everything and organize them by category and try to put it all in my cabinet, if I can. So I just finished organizing, and this is what it looks like right now. It looks really messy, but I know exactly where everything is now, so I'm really happy with it. So these 3 file folders used to be on the ground next to my desk, and these are some of the charts and whips. I didn't really go through them one by one, but these 2 contains my whips, and then in this one it has charts that I finished or things that I didn't start yet. So I have those in there. And then, oh, this is perforated paper. It didn't fit in the file box, so I just stuck it in here. And this green and yellow folders, I have my working copies of the things that I'm working on. And then I actually think these are kitted up projects. And over here, these are also some whips, I think. I have to go through them, but I think this one, from here to here, I think these are kitted up projects and also some of the things that I've already started. I'm not really sure. And these are all of my cross-stitching fabrics, and it's not organized by counts. It's organized by company, I guess. So this, I think, is Zweigart fabric. Yeah. And then these are Picture This Plus. And then this, I have Color and Cotton, and I think these 2 are actually Color and Cotton too. And some smaller pieces for smaller projects. So I have those there. And then this, I can't remember what this is. Oh, my Petite Treasure Brace. I only have a couple in here. And then in this box I have some DMC that I pulled out for projects or for whips. And then this, I have my Krennics in here. And in this box I have the felts and ribbons for finishing. So that's my top shelf. And then over down here, I have some projects on QSnaps that I'm currently working on. So this is one of my own designs that I'm working on, and this is the Mystery Cell by Linen and Threads, and then Sleeping Beauty behind it. And then back here, I have my DMC boxes. The ones that are in the smaller boxes are kitted up projects for my Unicorn, Sleeping Beauty, and Blue Moon Angel by Lavender and Lace. And then I have my Silks for You silks, and I have the DMC Etoile here. And then in this box I have some finishing stuff like buttons and some ribbons and smaller things like needles and wax. So I have those things in here. But I think I'm gonna get more of these boxes later, and I just have some books down here. But I'm going to get more containers from Daiso to organize the 3 boxes that I've showed you earlier and try to put them in here. So this is where I used to have my DMC boxes, but I moved all of my finishes and whips in here. So on the top layer, these are all of my larger whips that I rolled up. And let me get some of them out of the way. And these are some of my smaller finishes. And I'm going to turn them into ornaments at some point. And underneath those smaller finishes, I have my other bigger finishes, which I want to frame, but I haven't found a framer yet, so those are still in there. And these whips used to be in a large glass vase, but it was collecting dust and I really didn't like that, so I'm really happy that I have room now to put it in the drawers here. And then in this bottom one, I have my extra scroll rods, Q-snaps, and my English paper piecing project, which I said I was going to finish in July, but I didn't, so I'm gonna have to start working on that pretty soon. And then over here, this is my desk drawer, and this is where I used to have my color and cotton fabrics, and I keep my smaller whips now, so if I want to work on something small, I can just go through here. So I'm working on my finishing, and then another smaller whip that I'm going to work on later. And then I have my cross-stitch angel in here as well, and some floss for my whips, and yeah, I guess that's it. I was going to work on my ornaments today, but I really didn't want my parents to get rid of this, so I decided to reorganize my stash, and I'm super happy with it. So I think I'll stitch for a little bit and hang out, so I'll come back to show you what I worked on. So I decided to work on my Sleeping Beauty, and I only did a little bit. I finished the park threads that I had here, and then worked on this white part, and I also parked some threads so that I could just start working on this next time when I come back to this. So that's all I did. And I think I'm gonna work on my ornaments now, so I'm going to end this video here. And I realized that I have some new subscribers, and it was because Stitcherista, Danielle, gave me a shout out. So thank you so much for joining me. And if you don't know who Stitcherista is, I'm sure everyone knows, but I'm going to link her channel in the description box below. But she was one of the first channels that I subscribed to, and I really like her stories, and she's really funny. So if you're not already subscribed to her, she's very knowledgeable about cross-stitching and diamond painting, and I really like her book recommendations. I've read a couple so far, and I really liked all of them. So the link will be in the description box, and yeah, I think that's it for this video. So thank you so much for watching and subscribing and commenting, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!